Do you have a child that's having behavioral problems? Does your kid have emotional outbursts, argue back with you, have problems with motivation, act impatient, demanding, and self-absorbed, have low communication skills, or have rebellious moods and often responds with anger and defensiveness, an inferiority complex, or the opposite, no emotion at all? And no matter what you try, nothing seems to get through to solve the problem. Are you secretly afraid your child will always rebel, never become a responsible, productive adult, and you may be arguing with them forever? If so, we might be able to help. We're looking to help a few more parents turn their problem child into a well-behaved, loving, responsible child. We'll work with you to help eliminate the emotional outbursts and tantrums, show you how to get your child to listen, love, and respect you and others, and help your child become responsible for their own actions so they make better choices in a mature and healthier manner. So your child is more friendly, calm, and happy, and starts enjoying school and getting better grades so they can go to college and lead a productive life as an adult. Interested to hear how? This method is changing children's lives. For example, Evan, a 7-year-old who had an anxiety meltdown in class and hid under his desk. Within minutes, he was able to calm down and return to his work with these skills, which normally an episode like this may have lasted all day. Or Taylor, who used to punch things when he felt threatened. However, after learning one of our methods, he stopped doing that and the school was able to stop calling home. Or Tammy, who was bullied most of her life and going through a lot of sadness and hurt. However, after learning how to handle bullies using one of our methods, she was able to rebuild her confidence and started being proud of who she was. And guess what? The bullying stopped because she internally became strong, and she was able to handle all of this without resorting to violence. And now we want to help you and your child with whatever behavioral issues they may be facing. But before I tell you more about this unique opportunity, let me quickly tell you about Donna Gill and why she's the top person to go to when it comes to problem children and behavioral challenges. So first off, Donna was a teacher for 25 years. She's also a published author of the children's book Digging Knee Deep. Now, using her unique system, her students' academic state test scores were higher than everyone else, and their behavioral changes were incredible. She's helped over 700 children become more productive, calm, and balanced using the unique system you're going to hear about today. And now, she wants to help your child. If you've got a child with behavioral issues, emotional outbursts, and who doesn't take responsibility for their actions, pay close attention, because this may be the most important opportunity you're ever presented with. Our proven behavioral transformation method has been turning children with behavioral issues into productive, self-sustaining, loving people. Children who are on the path to being well-adjusted adults, contributing to their society, and living a happy, successful life. This transformation can begin in just a few short weeks, and behavioral changes being noticed immediately. We all know that teachers do their best to help educate and mold our children into competent adults. But the problem is, they can only do so much. See, first, fact is in schools, resources are limited, so your child doesn't get special focus. Teachers work with up to 29 other students at the same time who may all have unique struggles. And therein lies the problem, because also, time is of the essence to teaching reading, writing, math, science, and social studies. So it's hard to balance all of these things at once with 29 other kids. Now, even if a student has any kind of individualized learning plan like an IEP or ALP, the problem with those are they're designed to be helpful at school and with academics. But what about the hours outside of school? Those are what really matter because there's a lot more hours outside of school than inside school. So the problem behaviors continue, children struggle, and nothing changes. Luckily, this proven little-known behavioral transformation method is a shortcut around all that. It's the fastest method we've ever discovered to turn problem children into well-behaved, loving, happy kids who listen, love, and respect you, eliminate emotional outbursts and tantrums, and help children become self-responsible for their own actions so they make better choices and start getting better grades, all without yelling, screaming, grounding, or arguing with your kid. In fact, it's nearly effortless. Now, I'm going to reveal the exact details in just a minute, because first I need to give you an overview of why this new behavioral transformation method works so well, and how this makes it so easy for your kid to learn how to behave better. The way most of us have been taught to handle a problem child has flaws. If you're like most parents, you probably use the punishment way of handling arguments and issues with your children. Your child does something wrong, and sometimes this ends up in yelling at your kids, sending them to their room, grounding them, or taking things away from them. In theory, this response should work. They've worked for generations before us, our parents and their parents, but as you're well aware, theory and practice are two very different things. The world has changed. And actually, these things are dangerous, potentially hurtful when dealing with problem children, and here's why. So first off, it pushes your kids away from you, and hurt at the punishment itself. They don't understand what's happening, and then they don't want anything to do with you. Also, it's very confusing for their underdeveloped emotions. They see the punishment as coming from you, and then they question things. Do they really know that you love them so much and that you'll be there all the time? Do they feel that? And then they start to question. Do they know that you love them so much? Do they know you lay awake at night wondering what to do? Do they know that you would do almost anything for them? Children feel strong emotions just like adults do. And sometimes they can't handle those emotions, so they act out. This can come in all sorts of behavior. Yelling, arguing, not doing homework, things like that. When you yell, send them to their room, ground them, and so on, unfortunately, their behavior either gets worse or they bury those emotions and direct them elsewhere. Sound familiar? This punishment model ends up having unintended consequences later in life that can be hard to untangle. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to cover up a broken leg with a Band-Aid. I want to fix the root problem and help my child get better. That's why we developed a completely new model specifically for families and parents who need behavior transformation training. This new model is all about self-responsibility, handling emotions, and changing behaviors. And it's called the Behavioral Transformation Model. Now, let me explain how it works, and so many parents get an amazing aha moment from understanding this unique concept, so get ready. Remember how I just mentioned that children feel their emotions are more powerfully and intense than adults do? These emotions can be scary and overwhelming, and they don't know how to manage them. So they express these emotions in non-productive ways, emotional tantrums, arguing, and rebelling, right? What's needed is to teach our children how to manage these emotions, how to cope, and how to make better decisions. In certain situations, children may not really know how to make right from wrong decisions. It's our job as parents to teach these things to our children. And when we do that, the emotional outbursts stop. Your child is equipped with tools to help control and manage their emotions without flipping out. Your child begins taking responsibility for their actions because they understand if they choose to do something bad, the consequences end badly as well. And overall, knowing how to cope with one's emotions leads to fewer issues. And no power struggles because your child will know how to calmly communicate with you like a little adult. Want to know what the best part is? Your child will have these skills forever in their life. They start having more confidence, better communication skills, less stress and drama, open to new possibilities and opportunities, and the list goes on and on. In fact, we've had parents come to us with stories about how their child didn't fall into peer pressure and do drugs because one or more of these methods. Parents are ecstatic to see their children taking care of themselves in social activities, and even knowing how to handle bullies properly without resorting to violence. And now, here's how we're going to help you and your child eliminate emotional outbursts, start making better choices, and transform from problem child into a well-behaved, happy, responsible person. And it all starts with step 1, the behavioral framework. So first off, we're going to personally walk you, the parents, through our behavioral framework system so you understand the top-level strategies we'll be using with your child. You'll learn a series of tools to use in every situation, whether it's an emotional outburst, arguing, or even rebelling against you. You'll know what to do in each situation, and you'll be able to use them at home. You can even begin applying these strategies immediately with your child, and you'll be able to see changes quickly as the child has been empowered to think appropriately. And when you do this right, you'll be able to walk your child through the behavioral framework, apply the tools you'll learn, and notice instant changes in their behavioral problems. For example, Donna's first teaching job was in a second grade class. These were students who had different emotional and social needs than regular children. There were kids who fought, had outbursts or emotional issues, and were always getting into trouble, whether it was punishment or something else. After teaching this to the class, the students themselves began applying these tools and even reminding each other and encouraging each other to practice them as needed. By the end of the year, there were no more punishments, emotional outbursts were few and far between, and the changes were incredible for the entire class. If you want us to personally show you our proven behavioral framework so you can use it to turn your problem child into a well-behaved happy kid, keep watching because I'm going to explain more about this incredible opportunity to hop on the phone with us so you can see what this step would look like for you and your child. Along with learning these high-level tools and how they work, together we'll customize a plan for your child based on their individual needs. Here's a big secret. Most of the time, emotional outbursts are caused by a trigger, which is a good thing because once we identify the triggers that make your child show emotional outbursts, together we can put personal strategies in place to help them manage their emotions when the triggers come. So the emotional outbursts stop. That's why we created behavioral transformation plans. During this step, we're going to get on the phone together and personally come up with a step-by-step plan with customized tools and strategies to help your child. We'll talk specifically about what your household is like, what's currently happening with your child, and what their problems are, and then teach the strategies they can use to fix those issues. And when you follow this plan, you'll be able to watch your child blossom from a problem child with emotional outbursts and other issues into a more peaceful, calm, productive person who can grow up and be a success in society. And this plan works amazing. For example, late in the school year one year, a 6th grade student was expelled from another school and enrolled in Donna's class. The second day in class, she had a meltdown, flipped over her desk and chair, and rampaged out of the room. She even flipped the work off of other students' desks, kicking over empty chairs and yelling names at Donna. Donna then crafted a behavioral plan and worked with the child to manage her emotions when she was triggered. In a few short months, she had grown so much. And even the next year, this girl was doing well, had friends, and wasn't melting down at all anymore. Pretty amazing, right? If you want us to develop a behavioral transformation plan for your child, then fill out the application on this page and we'll see if we're a good fit together. But it gets even more magical. The real secret that's responsible for our clients having such tremendous success with this behavioral modification system is not just because of how fast the changes happen and the reinforcement at home. Remember how I told you that your child will have these skills for the rest of their lives? With this system, they'll be more productive in school, they'll develop stronger leadership qualities, and they will have better communication skills and confidence. This is a really, really big deal. It's a big deal because these are the exact skills that will help your child go to college, land an amazing career, and have a successful life. And the thing is, no one teaches this stuff. It's up to us as parents to guide our kids. Which brings us to step 3, specialized support. After we get the plan developed and we're noticing positive changes in your kid, we're going to continue tweaking the strategies and working with you over time to support you as much as possible. We'll personally hop on phone calls over the span of a few weeks to check on the status of your kids, the plan, and even answer questions so you're supported along the way. And as a result, there's no guesswork, you're supported, and the transformation in your kid becomes a lifelong permanent one. And the result of this step, it's literally changing lives and putting these kids on a different path in life. For example, a 6th grade student was feeling pressured to come early to school one Friday morning to smoke weed behind some bushes on school property. But a few days earlier, the same kid learned about the landing grid thinking tool, which helps kids think about the outcome of their choices. There were 4 students that Friday that got suspended, but at the parent-teacher conference a few weeks later, another student shared he was asked to join in and smoke weed, but thought about the results and how the end could be suspension and breaking trust with his mom and dad and friends. He made the decision to say no, and his mom was tearing up and so grateful for providing her son with that thinking tool just at the right time. I'm sure you can see why this type of work is so important and how it can literally change your kid's life, right? Now, real quick, to recap, here's how we help our parents. In step 1, we teach you our main strategies and tools to implement with your child in order to work through their problem behaviors for instant changes. Then in step 2, we get on the phone and develop a customized plan for your specific situation so you can watch your child turn from problem child with emotional outbursts or other issues into a more peaceful, calm, happy child. And in step 3, we support you along the way, speaking with you on the phone, updating the plan with any new strategies we may need, and answer any questions you have so there's no guesswork, you're supported, and the transformation in your kid becomes a lifelong permanent one. Plus, we'll even give you our Switch It game you can use to practice these strategies with your entire family in a fun game night. Now you can see all the testimonials on this page. Plain and simple, what we do works. All you'll need to do is follow the process and watch your child transform. Sound like something you're interested in? Here's the offer one last time. We're looking to help a few more parents turn their problem child into a well-behaved, loving, responsible child. We'll work with you to help eliminate the emotional outbursts and tantrums, show you how to get your child to listen, love, and respect you and others, and help your child become responsible for their own actions so they make better choices in a mature and healthier manner, so your child is more friendly, calm, and happy, and starts enjoying school and getting better grades so they can go to college and lead a productive life as an adult. Ready to help your child? Then fill out the application on this page right now so we can figure out if this is a good fit for you, your kid, and your family. And if we decide to work together, we'll personally work with you and your child to help eliminate emotional tantrums and outbursts, teach you the exact system to help your kid understand their emotions and start taking responsibility for their actions, show you how to get your child to listen, love, and respect you, transform your problem child into a well-behaved, happy kid, and help your child grow in confidence and self-regulation so they can live an influential, productive life as an adult. But just a heads up, because of the hands-on and intimate nature of this offer, we can only work with a handful of families and children at a time. So if you want everything I said in this presentation, then start filling out the application on this page right now. Luckily, if you're seeing this video right now, that means there's spots open. So one last time, fill out the application form on this page now, and we look forward to seeing your testimonial with the incredible transformation you and your family and child got from working with us.